Do you know how often I've been called cheap? Because I wouldn't spend the money that they thought I should spend in the season that we were in at that time. A lot of us, specifically men, we're about to drop a whole lot of money on a woman that we don't even really know is our wife. Let me make one thing clear. Dating on a budget, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is not about being cheap. The average man within a year's time frame will spend close to about 14 to, I think it's right around $18,000 on dating. A man serenading you with a full room of roses doesn't mean he really likes you. Because the truth of the fact is, every beautiful woman is not a beautiful wife.
A lot of things that turn me off, but if you cheat, baby, do not come over here. I do not like a cheat man. Don't come around me penny pinching. Don't come around me calculating everything and do that on your own time. You trying to impress me? I'm not cheap with myself. I ain't saying you can't be cheap, but don't come around me being cheap. As a man, I do not like a cheap man. I ain't even saying you gotta be spending crazy, but you ain't coming over here being cheap. You will not be a mathematics man around me for every transaction that we do. Don't come around me being cheap. I do not like a cheap man. Baby, I don't know, it might be a woman out there. Don't come around me being cheap. Have your shit together. Because I ain't like that with myself.
Wow. Okay. Yo, today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people overlook, right? Dating wisely within your financial means. And we've all seen it, y'all. We've all have seen it, or maybe even done it ourselves, spending more than what we should just to impress ladies, brothers, just to impress men, sisters, right? Fancy dinners, expensive gifts, over-the-top gestures. And watch this, or even going to a non-expensive dinner that's just not in my budget for this season. And before you know it, we're racking up all this debt, and we're trying to impress this woman or this man who's not even our wife, who's not even maybe your husband, ladies. You may not even know them. You know, my team sent me this video about this beautiful, I think she is a gorgeous sister. I wasn't even upset with her because I really don't know the concept or the backing of what she says. And sis, if you're watching this and you would love to come onto the show and talk about what you mean as far as in men being cheap, man, I'd love to have you on the show. Let's have a real conversation during this month. Because here's the truth. Real relationships aren't built on how much money a man spends on you. They're built on shared values, honesty, spiritual connection, mutual respect. And if someone can't honor your financial boundaries and watch this, your financial goals, then they don't deserve your time, period. Do you know how often I've been called cheap? Because I wouldn't spend the money that they thought I should spend in the season that we were in at that time. But in the back of my head, the things that they desired and or wanted, I was going to 3 times that if they just would have gotten to the next season of our relationship. This is why today I want to share some lessons that I've learned about dealing with our money while dating. This is not a relationship advice show. This is not a dating show, how to find love. But no, this is a show about how do we stay true to our financial goals, to the financial vision that we have for our life while dating. And then also towards the end, I'm going to give you some dope date ideas that myself and my show producer, Michelle, came up with, right? Because it's like, I think we got to get creative and we have to get to a point to where dating is not costing us our future. And if I'm going to be honest, from the very beginning of this show, I was that dude that if I would have met this amazing, beautiful woman in my 20s, I would have did and spent whatever she said just to get her. But today I'm like, no, I cannot show up for tryouts dating and cannot show up to finals marriage because I spent all this money over here impressing my lady friends and I can't protect, provide, enhance, expose my wife and my children because I enhanced and exposed the people who I just dated. 2025, I ain't doing it. 2025, I ain't doing it. It's Valentine's. It's Valentine's month. It's love month. And a lot of us, one more time, and a lot of us, specifically men, we're about to drop a whole lot of money on a woman that we don't even really know is our wife. And this is my show. Thank God I ain't a pastor right now. A lot of us are about to spend a whole lot of money just so we can have sex. Just so the bedroom on Valentine's night can be fire. We ain't doing that. That's not what this show is about today. Let's get to it.
All right, family, before we get into the rest of today's show, listen, nearly 75% of you all are not subscribed to the channel. Listen to me again. 75% of you all are not a part of the E3 community. And we are literally just expanding in the areas of abundance, wellness, and freedom. And that is the main focus of this year. So listen, if you're loving some of the content, you may not watch me every single week, but if you could just hit that subscribe button and be a part of this family, there are some extra perks that comes from just subscribing. We're giving out discounts in the AO store. We're having events solely just for the community, and you will get an email with the discount code and the VIP code and all the special things that's going on. So please hit that subscribe button, whether you're watching this on YouTube or listening to this on podcast, and I promise you, it's going to be amazing. When we hit 1 million on YouTube, I'm giving away a luxury quality used vehicle to one of my E3 community members on July 1st of 2025. So listen, hit that subscribe button and let's get back to today's show. God bless.
I want to talk about why dating within our means actually matter. So before we dive into the meat of the show, let me make one thing clear. Dating on a budget, ladies and gentlemen, okay, is not about being cheap. I'm gonna say it one more time. Dating on a budget does not make you cheap. It honestly makes you wise. Because if I go and I ask a lot of these sisters who are out here single, and a lot of these sisters who are out here dating, and even a lot of these brothers who are out here just dropping a bag, and I asked them, hey, how much money did you spend in this particular category last month? They couldn't tell me. If I go and I ask the majority of brothers, how much did you invest last month? 60% of them, specifically within the minority race, didn't invest anything. But they invested money into a sister to impress a sister. Studies are showing us right now that when it comes to single people, the average single person in America makes right around $48,000 a year. Now, some of you may be in New York, maybe in California, maybe in other areas, and you're making, 80,000, 100,000, cool, great. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the average person in America. There was a study that came out and revealed that the average black man makes $42,000 a year, while 30% of black men make right around $30-something, $35,000 to $38,000 a year. So for me, you gotta operate within a budget, and you gotta be wise with how you're maneuvering and how you are advancing in life when it comes to your money. If you're working to build wealth, if you're working to pay off debt, you can't afford to blow your money. You can't afford to blow your budget. You can't afford to blow your time just to impress someone. Because here's what I've learned. here's what I realized. That if she, brothers, values you, that if he, sisters, values you, they'll value the vision you're working towards. And the reason why I used this video in the very beginning, because I was like, man, there are some ladies who have called me cheap because I say, yo, on the very first date, I'm not going to spend any more than $100 to $150 on the very first date. I'm sorry. I'm going to get creative. I want to learn you more. I want to see, can we have a good time? Because for me in this season that I'm in, dropping $300, $400 on a dinner, that's nothing. I can do that blinking. But the average person in America cannot afford to do that. Can't afford to do that. But the average man in America will do that because she's beautiful. Will do that because she's thick. Will do that because he's trying to get some. But we got to move to the point to where now we're starting to date with intentions. Then we got to get to the point to where it's like, yo, listen, this is my budget. I just said it on the news last month. I was on Good Day DC, Fox 5 here in the Washington, D.C. area, the news. And I said, man, listen, I'm on a budget. I date within a budget. And if a woman calls me cheap, I respect it. But that woman can't see the long-term vision. And brothers, we got to be okay with that. Not just brothers, but it's sisters out here dropping the bag too. So, sisters, let's be honest. Some of y'all out here dropping money on spending it on certain men. But in this season, we got to move with intentionality. We got to start dating with intentions. And here's how I personally see it. At this season of my life, at this big 4-0 age of my life, I'm not dating just to be dating. And some of you are in your 20s and you're out here dating just to be dating. I'm cool with that. And if you're in a season that you're dating just to be dating, yo, I ain't got nothing against you. But for me, and I think for the majority of us who are watching this, we're dating for marriage and we're dating for the future. You see, one of the root words for dating is about gathering data, learning who someone is, learning how they can add value and add more substance to your life, learning how you can add value and add more substance to their life, figuring out if they align with your vision, or seeing if they're going to rob from your future. This is why I say it's not wise to spend all your money and spend your resources. And I'm going to keep saying this word throughout the year 2025, spending your margin trying to impress someone you don't even know will be a part of your life in the future. Do you know how much money men have spent? When it comes to dating, a study came out and revealed that nearly the average man within a year's time frame will spend close to about $14,000 to, I think it's right around $18,000 on dating. This is flying people in. This is putting in hotel rooms. This is buying food. This is vacations. It's all that together. And dating in 1 year is 18 grand. But if we take that 18 grand and let's say we cut it in half because we got a date, I got a date. Right? I can't sit here and not date and not find someone, but I gotta date better. So if I take half of that 18,000, that's 9,000, put that inside of a mutual fund, don't do nothing, just let it sit there and let it get compound interest. We're looking at $100,000, $200,000 that we're just blowing away on women and on dating. But as I've evolved, as I have matured, dating should reflect your values, not wreck your wallet. I'm gonna say it one more time. Dating should reflect your values. Dating should reflect where you want to go and not wreck your wallet, not break your bank account. And I think a lot of us are depressed. Ooh. A lot of us have been hurt on both sides. I think there are sisters right now who have spent money on a man And that man left him. That man cheated on him. There's another video that my team sent me, and she was, it was on TikTok, and she's like, man, I paid for all the bills and he still cheated on me. And I think people are hurt. And so we have all these high expectations thinking that it's going to protect us from being hurt again. But the truth of the fact is that's not going to protect you from being hurt. We got to go seek therapy. We got to get whole and heal from the inside if we're going to really date better. Which is why I want to thank today's sponsors of today's show, BetterHelp. Check this out real quick.
Y'all, I want to thank my friends over at BetterHelp for sponsoring today's show. And speaking of sponsoring today's show, man, especially around this month, isn't it funny that everyone is always talking about, man, you better spot the red flags, you better spot the red flags. But what about spotting green flags in people? To me, green flags are all about healthy relationships, not just romantically, but in friendships too. It's time to form connections that truly love and support you. If you're not sure what those green flags look like, therapy can help you identify them and build better relationships. Personally, I turn to therapy to help me navigate both the red and green flags in my life. It's been instrumental in teaching me how to set healthy boundaries and empowering me to show up as the best version of myself every day. You can experience the same transformation with my friends at BetterHelp. I love that it's fully online, making it affordable, extremely affordable, and is convenient and trusted by over 5 million people worldwide. With access to a diverse network of more than 30,000 credentialed therapists. You see, BetterHelp makes finding the right fit for your needs simple. I need you to go to betterhelp.com/AO today to get 10% off your first month. Again, that's betterhelp.com/AO right now. Listen, before we get back to today's show, your mind is your business. Take care of it. Get you some therapy. All right, let's get over.
So listen. When it comes to our finances, I want to give you something. I really want to break this stuff down on how do we date within our financial means? How do we date within our financial means? And here's number one. Here is number one. Here is what I do when it comes to dating within my financial means. I write down the means that I have. So one more time. I'm saying it differently so you can get it. I write down the budget that I have for dating. One of the secrets that not secrets, but one of the key things that I'm doing when it comes to dating, right, is that I have a high yield savings account, and that high yield savings account generates me because of the amount of money that I have inside of that particular account. It generates me anywhere between $300 to $500 on any given month, right? If the interest rates may go up, it may go down, it just fluctuates, right? And so what I do, let's say for an example, it is February this month. So last month, that particular account gave me $420. So that account, that money is what I allocate for my line item when it comes to dating, right? So I write down for this month, I may take one lady out this month, or I may take two out this month. I don't know. Dating means, no, we're not having sex. No, we're not doing none of that, but I'm getting to know you. So I may get to know you. I may get to know her. So I have $420 set aside from that account that I didn't really make. My money made that money, and that's there. So for an example, if I go out on one date, the most I'm gonna spend is $150. But let's say if I meet someone, I want to take her out for drinks or get to know her, then I have $150 there as well, right? But 9 times out of 10, I don't use all of my money within my particular means. And so that money honestly never leaves that account because I didn't touch it. And I don't roll it over to the next month to where, okay, if I didn't spend the $420 something this month, I got $840 next month. No. If for the month of February, if my account only makes $325, then I'm only going to have $325 a day for the month of March. What am I saying? If you're going to date within your means, I need you to sit down and look at your budget, cover all of your necessities, cover all of your investing, cover all the things that you have to do to progress your future moving forward. Then when you get done with that, look at your margin, and your margin is how much money do you have left over to spend, and then allocate, I can put $100, $200 into dating this month. And then here's the truth. When you get to that point and you find someone, don't go over it. I don't care how fine she is, brothers. I don't care how fine he is, sisters. No, don't do it. Don't do it. And technically, sisters, man, y'all should not. be spending money on the first two or three dates in the first place, unless you get on the date and you feel uncomfortable. So then yes, take care of that. I want to pause and say it right there because I'm talking about money. I have goddaughters, I have adopted daughters, and whenever they go out on dates, I give them money to where if the Negro act funny and he trying to get some just because he took you on a date, here goes some money. You pay for not just your meal, but pay for even his meal and tell him to kick rocks. Every woman needs to be prepared to pay for at least your portion of the meal so that way there's no expectations from the Negro, because there are some men out there that are simply jerks, they are immature, and they're coming at you for the wrong reasons. But ladies, I want us to start looking at certain things. And this is why this is why I came up with the conversational cards called Wealthy Conversations, because you should be looking at certain things when it comes to your man. I would have a red flag if I had a daughter and she came back home to me and she told me that her new friends spent $350 on their first date in their 20s and 30s. I'll be like, what's wrong with this brother? What is wrong with this brother? He don't know you. That is a bad investment to do that in front of you. No, I would tell her, if he can do that to you, he's done that to others. He's blowing money away. He doesn't have a vision, and he's allowing a woman to stop him from progressing forward. So ladies, if this brother comes to you and says, hey, listen, we're going to go over here. I want to do this. I'm going to be creative. No man should say, I'm only going to spend $50, $100, $150. I've never told a woman I'm only going to spend X amount of money. No, I just took the lead. I said, this is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to do it. Boom, boom, boom. She had a great time. But if you're sitting there and you're calculating how much money he spent, I want you to retract, but I want you to reposition your mind. Like, yo, am I having a good time? Am I laughing? Are we learning about each other? Do I feel comfortable with this man? Does he have me in a comfort zone place? Not, is he dropping the bag and making it rain? Not, is he putting me in a place where I can take a picture of it and post it on Instagram? Because we know how y'all ladies do. Y'all want to go to these nice places so you can show off a little bit. Look at where I'm at. Post your food, post the wine, post the drinks, and post the pictures out date night. Caption, he really likes me. I be laughing at some of the captions I be saying on y'all's food. I'm like, okay, you got lobster and a steak, and that means he really likes you? I'm sorry, ladies. A man sending you roses doesn't mean he really likes you. A man serenading you with a full room of roses doesn't mean he really likes you. I'm not saying he doesn't, but money doesn't correlate to a man liking you. So number one, we got to have a vision. Number two, we got to make sure, I said this earlier, it's about dating with alignment. Man, listen. And I'm specifically talking to the brothers and sisters. Hopefully you'll learn from this. Let's say, for an example, from that video that we saw in the very, very beginning, let's say, for an example, that woman was talking about me. You see, in my 20s, I would have been offended. I would have been hurt. I would have stepped up to the plate. I would have came in there with $500, $1,000, taking her out and wowing her on a very next occasion that we had. But now you got to be secure in who you are and where you're going. When you're dating within your means, you got to be secure in who you are and secure in where you're going. And understand that not everybody is going to align with who you are and where you're going. Because the truth of the fact is, every beautiful woman is not a beautiful wife. I'm going to end the show right there. Every beautiful woman isn't a beautiful wife. Anthony, what do you mean by that? A woman will be impressed by how much you spend. A woman with a wife mentality, a woman who is already a wife, will be impressed by the strategy and by the vision you have for your life. A woman will be impressed by what you pull up in. A wife will be impressed by what you're talking about, where you're going. A woman will be impressed by your credit score. A wife will be impressed by how much money you have invested. Huh? You got to be so secure in who you are and where you're going that your personality, your persona, when you walk in that room, is like, nah, I'm not dropping $100 on you, but I know exactly what I'm gonna do if you are my woman, long term. Because there's stages to this thing. Day one, I'm not trying to impress you with my money, but I am trying to impress you with my character. I am trying to impress you with my personality. I'm trying to see, do you like me? Now, once we're into date 4, date 5, then I'm gonna step up the game and I'm gonna treat you nice. I'm gonna treat you, I'm always gonna treat you like a queen, but I'm gonna step up how I'm even doing certain things with you. But in the beginning stages, call me cheap because I'm moving with intentions. I'm moving with trying to learn who you are. And men, this is how we should be doing this. And ladies, man, you need to transition from I'm a woman to I'm a wife. Because a wife can see the future. A wife can see the vision and attach to that vision. Like, yo, I don't know if you my husband, but I love the way you moving right now. I love how you're showing me you got strategy. I love how you showing me you got a vision. I love how you showing me that you're not going to just try to impress me, which lets me know you haven't tried to impress others with your money, but you're leading with your character. You're leading with your personality. You're leading with integrity. You're leading with intentionality. You're leading with patience. You're leading with love. You're leading with direction. I'm not guessing where we're going. What I got to do is decide if I want to attach to you and follow you. Oh my goodness. When I walk into dates now, I'm like, man, listen, how you doing? Let's have some fun. I have had people to this day who do not want to go out with me because I say, yo, I don't want to go. I'm not taking you to no Eddie V's on the first day, but we can go do this. I have had people say, yo, man, why you pulled up in this, but then we're pulling into here? I did. Yeah. But I've also dated ladies, man, that has received very nice things from me, expensive things from me, because we got to that season of the relationship. The one who I admitted that I lost. I think she got the best of me, the absolute best of me. I was on Tim Ross show and a Terrace show, and man, I bought her a lot because of the season that we were in, right? Bought her a real nice purse, real nice earrings and jewelry. But this was in a season of, I think this is the one. This is a season of, I think this is the wife. But even she'll tell you, very first date, nah, we didn't. I didn't. Nah. I think our very first date was at Topgolf. But we had fun. We had a blast. But I was secure in who I was, and I was secure in where I was going. And I don't want to say that because I admitted that I lost her. I was secure in who I was, and I was secure in where I was going when it comes to my finances. But I still made some bad decisions from a personal level. Not cheating, nothing sexual. Her and I didn't even have that, y'all, being honest. I didn't move with intentions as far as in making her my wife. But you got to be secure in who you are and where you're going. And number 3, man, I want to leave it here. You got to come creative, y'all. We have to come creative when it comes to our dating. We have to come super creative when it comes to our dating. All right? So I want to give you just some basic date ideas that I think are going to sound super, super, super cheap, but listen to the intentionality behind it. one of the things I'm looking forward to when it comes to dating, whenever I find someone seriously, is volunteering together. How do we choose a nonprofit that we're both passionate about, that resonates with both of us? Whether it's serving meals at a shelter or even participating in a community cleanup, or even going to the elderly home. Elderly people are starting to really become a passion for me because I've had 2 elderly grandmothers, and I saw how my youthfulness extended their life. Because not only does this gives us a chance to give back, but it also reveals what each of us value. Are we selfish? Do we find value in seeing others smile and live? I'm not saying this is a very first date. I'm trying to give you creative time together. A great first date to me is always a fun, competitive activity. Sometimes a little friendly competition is the perfect way to break the ice and bond with your date. Instead of the usual Eddie V, Steak 48, Ruth Chris Steakhouse, try something interactive like axe throwing, mini golf, or escape room. I remember I took a young lady out on a date and she was like, "Where are we going?" And I told her, hey, don't wear any heels, okay? I need you to put on some tennis shoes. Look cute, you know what I'm saying? Look cute now. Don't get it twisted. All right, look cute. But we're gonna have some fun. She was like, "Oh, so we're not going to dinner?" I said, "Hey, listen, I'm a man and we're gonna have a good time. All right, you ain't gotta plan nothing." So I gave her the address. She didn't feel comfortable me picking her up for the house. It was our very first date, which is totally cool, right? And so I gave her the address and she pulled up to a house and I was already there. I actually got there like 20 minutes early. I went inside, bought the tickets, made sure everything was straight, and I came outside and I met her. Then watch this. I called one of her friends and said, "Hey, I'm going to this escape room. Can you get some of her peers to come with her?" And then I got some of my brothers. At the time, I think my cousin came with me. And so it was a group of us. It was like 8 of us all together. So when she pulled up, all her friends was inside and she was like, "Yo, wait, what? What, girl, what you doing here?" And so I introduced her to my cousin and 2 of my other friends. I said, "Yo, listen, this is what's up for tonight. I've already paid for it, but we have an hour to get out of this room. All right, an hour to get out of this room." And y'all, she still wore heels. And I looked down at her and I told her friend, because I said, "Hey, do you think she's still gonna wear heels?" And she was like, "Oh, absolutely. First date, this girl trying to impress you, ayo." I was like, "Yo, do y'all wear the same shoe size?" She was like, "Yes." "Can you bring a pair of tennis shoes?" She said, "Bro, I'm already ahead of you." I looked down at her feet. "You already got shoes." I put my hand out. Her friends gave me her tennis shoes. I said, "Darling, you're gonna need these shoes." Y'all, her eyes lit up like, this Negro. I was like, yeah, I know what I'm doing. But y'all, the escape room only cost me $40. And we had a blast. We got in there, we failed at this, we were tripping over certain things because it was dark, we was laughing, man. We got out of there, I think, in like an hour and 18 minutes. But when we got out, man, we all laughed. Afterwards, we went to this little food truck in downtown Nashville and man, got some food there for about like $15. We all sat out there. Some of my friends had beers and some of them got little wine coolers. That whole night cost me right at $105. But we had a blast for 3 hours. And what I learned about her, although it didn't work with between her and I, and honestly, her and I are real good friends. But when I decided to move, she didn't like long distance relationships. And so I said, "Yo, listen, this is where I want to live at during this season of my life." And she's like, "Yeah, I want to be in the same city as my man. And I don't want long distance relationships." And so it didn't work out. But see, activities like these help you relax. It shows your fun side. And it connects you without the pressure of consistent conversation. Sitting there eating, and some ladies don't want to eat because y'all don't want to get seized. Like I had this one young lady I went to dinner with. She literally waited, got all her food to go. Because we went to Ruby Tuesday. This is when I was like 25 years old. We went to Ruby Tuesday and she got some ribs and she didn't touch it. And I was so offended. I was like, "Why did you not eat the food?" And she said, when I got home, I killed those ribs. I wasn't about to kill them in front of you on our first date. So I eliminate a woman being uncomfortable because I want to see, are you fun? I also want to see, can you lose? I also want to see, will you get that butt whipped? Can you be a good loser? I can tell a lot by a personality of a woman when she can lose and still have a good time, because I'm going to whoop that butt. I'm going to win because I'm a winner. No, I'm just playing. Let me stop playing. But I want to see, can we have a good time, man? Can we laugh? And I'm going to be honest, man, I don't know about y'all, but laughing to me is sexier. It's sexier and it's more intimate. And I'm just going to say this on my show. It's more intimate to me than a woman being in front of me butt naked. It's more intimate, and there's more connection to me that goes deeper in this season of my life than anything else. Because if I could laugh with you while you're in my hands, if we can laugh so much that we're crying together because of laughter, that's intimacy, and that builds a stronger bond. It builds a better connection that I believe is a better foundation to build on. And one of the last things, man, that I've really been getting into, haven't really done as much with women, with the women, I'll be honest. It's just cooking at home. What I love about cooking at home is, man, if any of you have followed me, and I've just built the outdoor kitchen last year into my house and built a pool and really did a lot to my backyard. And so, man, I would suggest y'all cooking together at home. And I mean this, cooking together. One of my goals is that, man, I'm not going to drop, money on it. I'm going to go buy some groceries. You want a steak? Cool, I got you. I'm going to season the steak the night before. I'm going to go outside, put it in the smoker, but I'm on the smoker. I want you on the outside grill cooking the side dishes. Maybe we doing, some greens. Maybe we doing some macaroni and cheese. I don't know, whatever the sides are. I'm cooking the meat. I'm grilling. I'm smoking the meat. You cooking the sides. And we outside, I'm in my swim trunks. You in your bathing suit. And we out here just talking and watching my dog Raven run around the backyard while I'm playing with her. And then we pull up my wealthy conversation cards, and we're getting to know each other in a more intimate level about, babe, what are some of your dreams financially? What are some of your struggles financially? While cooking, while bonding together, while working together. And so knowing when we sit down and we're having fun with our conversation cards, and we're up underneath the sun, and I got the umbrella up to block the sun from hitting us because we don't want to get a tan. We're having a conversation that builds intimacy. It builds a bond together, and it didn't cost us an arm and a leg. Because by the time I get that steak that maybe cost me $15, and I put some good seasoning on that thing, let it marinate inside that meat for 24 hours, and I put it on that smoker and let it cook for a little bit longer to keep it juicy, and you got the sides going, now we're eating real good food. We have a good glass of wine, and we're having an intellectual conversation. And after the intellectual conversation, we go down and we sit by the pool, and we bring the intellectual conversation down to the pool. And we're having a conversation that didn't cost us an arm and a leg, but it built something amazing. And some will say that that's cheap. Some will say that that's boring, and that's fine, because what I've learned is that I'm not for everyone. I got to stick to my values. The right person will respect your financial boundaries. If someone isn't down to roll with your budget, to roll with the vision that you have for your life, if someone can't see where you're going, not where you're trying to go, but where you are actually in motion, they ain't the one. You're building something bigger: financial freedom, generational wealth, a legacy. Brothers, we got to get out of the mindset of, I got to bag them all. Because when I get to my son and my daughter, I'm honestly embarrassed to say how many people I've had. I wish I can go back to the day and time and say, man, it's just only your mama. I wish I can go back when I have my wife and take back all the money that I spent on them ladies. But it's not their fault, it's my fault. Because I allowed them to throw me off of my course. Planning and discipline in every single area of your life, including dating, leads to blessings. But rushing to impress someone, rushing to impress him, ladies, buying the hair, buying the red bottoms, buying the dress, buying all that just to impress when it's not in your budget, leads to being broke. Rushing to impress someone, that is a recipe for disaster. It is a recipe for brokenness. And watch this. It is a recipe for the relationship to fail. Because what I've learned is that I'm going to lead with what I can maintain. I'm not overpromising. I'm going to lead with who I am and what I can maintain. It reminds me of Proverbs 21 verse 5. It says, the plans of the diligent lead to what? Profit. As surely as haste leads to poverty. I'm going to be a plan. I'm going to have a plan. And it's going to lead me and her, if we were to get married, to prosperity. J.S. Wolf said it like this. Those who get angry when you set a boundary are the ones you need to set boundaries for. So y'all, remember this. Listen, have an amazing Valentine. Man, have an amazing Valentine within your budget. If you haven't sat down and put a budget for Valentine, please do that. Please do that. If you're watching this afterwards, listen, man, as you're moving forward in dating, just operate within the means that I've said. But you do not need to spend a ton of money to show someone you care. It's not about the price tag. It's about the effort, the creativity, and the thoughtfulness. Ladies, if I'm right, hey, let me know in the comment section on YouTube. What would you rather prefer? A thoughtful, loving, God-fearing, intentional man? Or just a man who got money, a man who can drop a bag on you? Because at the end of the day, y'all, if they're the right person, they'll appreciate that. So plan wisely, love intentionally, and always honor your financial goals. I believe in you. Happy Valentine to all my loved ones out there. And I'll see y'all next show. Peace out.